All right. So finally, we are live. Hold on, let me check. So we're waiting for some people to come in. I apologize for starting late. Bad Sunday morning. Oh wow, we have people. So if you're in the room, please say hi, A, and B. Let me know if you can hear me properly and if the mic is working properly. I know a few weeks ago we were on live and the sound was really bad. So I swapped the microphone and it should be working better today. So if you're in the room, please say hi and uh, and let me know who you are and where you're from and if I've known you from before. And if you're regular, I will probably remember you. If you're regular from years ago, I probably cannot remember you just because my memory is fading. Um, Yeah, so I'm just going to give a few minutes for people to come in the room. Today we're going to be talking about evoking the Playboy Egregore. So in general, we are just uh, doing this one thing that black magicians could do that no other religion can do. Right? We can take anything and summon it. We can summon. Obviously, we can summon entities. We can summon god forms, angels, demons, that kind of entity. And we can also summon what we call a corporate egregore. And we can summon a egregore is like a thought form, right? It's like you put a symbol out there, and everybody gives it their energy to it, and then it gets seen a lot by a lot of people. And some egregores have a natural spirit inhabiting it, and and it has a mind of its own, right? So the founder of Playboy, Hugh Hefner, have passed away a few years ago, and the egregore, the spirit of Playboy, has grown to be independent, and it is still feeding on the energy of the people who gave its life, and if you work with this egregore, you will receive back the wisdom and the energy that God is magazine and its brand here, and in return you'll receive its blessing. Now, in general, not just Playboy, right? Well, first of all, Playboy, I have been told that it is the second most recognized brand in the world. It is more recognized than your fashion brand, the expensive one, Louis Vuitton and Hermes or Tesla or whatnot, right? It is the second most recognized brand in the world, right after Coca Cola. I guess like maybe McDonald's would be up there, but research have shown across the world that Playboy is more recognized than I guess like Pepsi or McDonald's or Burger King, right? And compared to Louis Vuitton or even Lamborghini or Ferrari or other luxury brand, right? Playboy is still the power of the brand Playboy is still much more recognized than anything in the market except for Coca Cola. So it is a very powerful Ukraine. I guess like the most recognized brand is the cross in Christianity, right? That it itself become an entity of its own. Now, just to escape the controversy, we're not going to talk about that today. But so anything you can evoke an entity, right? Like we talked about before in Black Magic, or you can evoke a egregore, which is a thought form entity. In lieu of that, you can even summon ideas or planets or phenomenon, right? Um, to to work with. Now, when you do that, you are extracting the energy and the wisdom and the energy as in like the power of the egregore that the symbol stands for. Like if you can summon a black hole, right? You will all be summoning. A is wisdom, and B is power in the universe, right? You can also summon a planet if you are um, if you want to work a planet itself, or you can summon direction. You can just summon the spirit of the north, right? They have been summoned many times. Um, in those cases, what will happen is the spirit or the egregore will send a spirit that is more attuned to um, to I guess like for a solar. If you summon the sun or if you summon Venus, right, you will send your Venetian a spirit, or if you summon the sun, it will send you a solar kind of entity, right? Or if you summon an element, like you summon the element of fire, it will send you an elemental spirit that is fire nature. If you summon uh, I guess a spirit of a lion or spirit of an elephant, it will summon the spirit. It could be a lion spirit, or it could be like a spirit that embodies what you feel is the best quality of a lion, like bravery and apex predator. And if you summon an elephant, it'll be strength and size and wisdom and memory and so forth, right? Um, Having said that, today we are summoning the Playboy Bunny, or just the Playboy symbol itself. And what it stands for. So let me give a minute for people to come into the room, and then we get started on Instagram. Uh, and then if we don't have a robust discussion, we will start with the, hey, FGFG, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I know it is really late in Hong Kong. How's the sound? Is my microphone working properly? Do you hear the tick 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 sound from a few weeks ago? So I apologize, FGFG. I know it is very late at where you are right now. So I'm just starting on Instagram. So maybe if you are listening to this now, whether you are live listening to this or if you are listening to this recording, take a moment and just ponder. What does the Playboy Bunny stands for you? It's more than just sex, right? To be honest, and I'm not virtue signaling here, I have never actually picked up a Playboy magazine. And I remember back when I was a kid, Playboy is one of those magazines that is covered by plastic bags, so like minors couldn't open it. And it's been taught to me and to us as a dirty magazine that you cannot touch, right? But I was watching the documentary on Amazon about Hugh Hefner, the founder of Playboy. Uh, I know I mentioned this many times. It's a great documentary, and you guys should check it out. It is more like a symbol of um, gender revolution and racial revolution, right? It brought forth a lot of ideas, and it championed a lot of ideas that that uh, that only now we are embracing today. For me, at least, so just in a broad sense, right? Before getting into the weeds of Playboy and its history, like what qualities of a Playboy lifestyle would you extract from working with the Playboy Bunny? It could just be wealth, right? Like a Playboy um, bunny. So it wasn't. It didn't start with a bunny. It started with a deer. Uh, Hugh Hefner said it was the original idea was like a red-tailed deer, and the name of the magazine was called the Sticks. Um, but then it was like the symbol was like a deer antler um, for the magazine. But then Hugh Hefner said at the time there was already a magazine called Sticks, or there was already a magazine with the symbol of an antler or something like that. So they were threatened with a copyright infringement lawsuit or cease and desist or whatever. So uh, Hugh Hefner said he somehow come up with the idea of a bunny, of a Playboy rabbit, in his dreams, just like it is possible that the Playboy bunny itself, or the Playboy um, image, or the lifestyle, or the human itself, um, itself is already exists in the ether as a spirit, just like Rolex, just like Sephora, um, and it just gave Hugh Hefner the idea. It just matches Hugh Hefner's energy, and then proceed into that manifestation. Right? Okay, so before we go on, I want you guys to just think about what does the Playboy lifestyle means to you. It could just be wealth. Um, it could be unlimited beautiful partners. It could be a symbol of power, symbol of magnetism, or home, working from home. You know why Hugh Hefner always seen wearing a robe, right? Now, I guess in modern days, it was mistook as, this swinging bachelor that never got out of bed and always a female companion with him all day long. So that's why he's wearing a robe. But no, turns out the reason why Hugh Hefner wears a robe all the time and it was seen as an image was because he worked so hard in the founding days of a magazine that he sleep in his office, and later on he put his bedroom furniture inside his office so that he could like work and sleep there all the time. So it is a symbol of his hard work, um, that he never leaves his office. This is why he's always seen wearing a robe around by his staff. So so maybe Playboy have manifested itself as the work from home culture of the 2020s. Uh, okay, so FGFG said sound is good. No tick tick tick. Thank you, my friend, for letting me know. FGFG said I'm a night owl, so it's okay. Thank you, my friend. Normal people go to sleep in Asia because around 3 a.m. is coming. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah. So think about what part of the Playboy lifestyle appeals most to you, and then we will in a minute use hypnosis to bring out the Playboy Egregore, the Playboy Bunny, and you can ask the Playboy Egregore to give you hints to live the Hugh Hefner or the Playboy lifestyle. Also, Playboy Bunny has been seen as a gorgeous female wearing the bunny hat and the bunny tail. But in its first iteration, Playboy Bunny was a male bunny. Many of you don't know that. So, um, yeah. So when people say Playboy Bunny is a sex symbol, you can say no. It's both. It works with both male and female. It was actually originally conceived as a male bunny. All right. So I'm going to get started on Instagram, um, and then we're going to come back here, and then we're going to do the hypnosis session to start. Um, Also, because, like I said before, oh shit, uh, like I said before, this is summertime and a computer is running hot. Like even now, it was just a bit too hot, right? I have to turn the fan back on to cool it down. So heat itself is not a problem. We just turn the CPU fan on, and then it will cool down. The problem with CPU fan is it just make this like background white noise, which is terrible for recording a meditation and hypnosis session. Guys could hear that, right? And this is even the max power. So I'm afraid that so we have to turn down the fan. But when we turn down the fan, the computer got overheated, and it will shut off. So the solution to this is we will record the hypnosis part in the beginning, and then And then later on, if we have a good discussion going on, we can turn the fan back on, which is less invasive to our ear if we are just talking. All right, we're just cooling down the computer. So yeah, so preferably, we want to keep the CPU temperature maximum of 65 degrees Celsius. And the last check, when I said, oh shit, it was at 75 degrees Celsius. So around 78 to 80 degrees Celsius, or even like sustained mid 70s, the computer will get an overheat signal and it's going to shut down. So that's very bad for A, the recording, and B, really bad for the computer. So this is why we are doing this kind of in a rush. Oh shit, we still have to get started on Instagram. So let me do that. Like I think Instagram is more like a funnel to get people in on YouTube, anyways. Evoking the Playboy. All right. So instead of hot coffee, I'm drinking energy drink today. Things I found on Amazon. All right. So we are live on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. So we could wait for some people to come in on Instagram while we cool down the CPU. And once the CPU is cooled down, we will start with the hypnosis session. And afterwards, if anybody is still with us, we will have a discussion. And also, the reason why, like Playboy has such an impact on me, is because, like back when I was younger, a lot of people would equate me to Hugh Hefner. Not that I'm showing off; it is just what it is. Um, I was blessed with always be surrounded by beautiful women all the time. At least that's what it shows anyway. A lot of people on YouTube will see me that way. Um, and in reality, I don't really live like that. A lot of people just see me like that, and I just kind of play along with it. And it also, like, I've seen the world in a much different lens, right? Be it good or bad, in the beginning, it does make me feel good. Like I got a lot of attention from that, but I guess like after a while, like people just look past me, um, and people are more. I just found that people are more interested in meeting my friends than learning about my work. And this is why I do live stream in this channel with only 5,000 subscribers. I say only, like everybody's available. Whereas in my other channel, I have like 100,000 subscribers. I don't think I've ever live streamed over there because, like, in my other channel, I did get a lot of attention by, surrounding myself with many models and whatnot. But uh, I guess the downside is that nobody cares anymore about what I have to say. Um, and when I do post a model, when I do post a video of me just by myself without any models around, I actually get a lot of dislike and say, and most questions I got are, where are the models now and how to contact them and whatnot. So I guess like I can feel what Hugh Hefner was feeling. I guess these days he haven't been gone for that long, right? Like even these days where you go around and you drop the word Hugh Hefner, most people wouldn't know who you're talking about, right? He was just forgotten in history, but his company lives on. The Playboy Bunny lives on. So yeah, so like I guess like this is the deep emotional connections with me and Hugh Hefner. Um, And going back when I was in high school, I made the grave mistake of selecting an all boys high school. So not just myself don't get any actions, and all my friends are kind of incels, right? So I have to um, kind of have to go through a rebirth process to get rid of that false identity that was forced upon me by the Catholic school and faith and the guilt, right? So yeah, so it's more like a liberation, the spirit of a liberation to me, um, for as a as the so Playboy itself is like a symbol of liberation for me and for many people around the world, right? All right, so the fan has gone down. Okay, so let me chuck a little bit more energy drink, and then we'll get started in the hypnosis session. Excuse me. To evoke the Playboy Bunny. Hey, Dexy Wimmer, how are you? Nice to meet you again. So yeah, so you just missed the whole soliloquy about the Playboy Bunny. So it's not just sex, right? It's more about liberation, and there are a lot of very famous people once wrote to uh, Playboy. So I think I've mentioned before, Martin Luther King was a regular contributor to Playboy. Reverend Jesse Jackson was a regular contributor to Playboy. Um, Jimmy Carter was a regular contributor to Playboy, and a lot of like big shot, powerful people were once writers to Playboy, right? Because it is such a symbol of liberation and forward thinking, right? Even though most of the ideas that were extreme in the 70s are now the norm in 2020s, and we have probably surpassed it, but we have to give them props for thinking ahead, and all the visionary at the time see it that way too, and a lot of Playboy bunnies. Oh, that by that I mean like the models that work for Playboy, and they used to have a club, right? And the waitresses and the hostess of the Playboy clubs, granted they spent a few years working for Playboy, and these days they are corporate titans and federal judges and scholars, and went on to do great things, right? So it's not just a nudie magazine. Um, it is more like the idea of visionary and forward thinking, right? So Dixie Wimmer, I guess like before we start the sessions, maybe take a minute to ask, what does the Playboy symbol or the Egregore help you? How would it help you, and what does it mean to you, right? Maybe it could just be like many partners and that lifestyle, right? Hello, Dejana. Um, that lifestyle and and that's fine. Or maybe you like to be Hugh Hefner, working from home and run a powerful magazine empire, or the level of wealth that could accumulate, or the lifestyle that could accumulate, being a playboy, right? um, or like a social liberal thinking, or becoming a visionary in your lifetime, right? Not just by being Hugh Hefner, uh, but um, but also be an inspiration of forward thinking to all the people around you, right? So Dejana and Dexy Wimmer and FGFG and anybody else who's still in the room, take this time to think about it, and then we will get started uh, on the hypnosis session. And if we have time, we will have a discussion on this and other black magic topic afterwards. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just have one more drink. I just have this energy drink that I've never heard of before. It's called Yesli Tropical Punch. Hopefully, this won't give me a heart attack. the really bad coffee that I had before actually kind of gave me this like heart attack feeling. Uh, like I had this heart attack feeling. This could be a combination of all the other things that I was doing. But when I stopped using that pumpkin spice coffee, that maybe I stopped using that pumpkin spice coffee after a few weeks, and this chest pain disappeared. So yeah. All right. So this is a hypnosis session to evoke the Playboy Bunny Egregore. I want you to lay down on your back on a comfortable surface, maybe a couch or bed, a cushion mat on the floor. If you prefer, you can sit in a comfortable chair. Take a few moments to become aware of how your body feels as it lies or sits. Don't try to do anything about it. Just be aware of the sensation. Take a few slow, deep breaths. You can try these special relaxing breaths. Breathe in slowly to a count of 6. Hold your breath to a count of 4 to 6. Then, as you breathe out, let your body relax with the exhalation. Feeling it sink into the surface you are lying or sitting on. Do these relaxing breaths and allow your breathing to become now to become allow your breathing to become naturally quiet, a little slower than usual. Listen closely to the sound of my voice. As you settle down, know what lies ahead. You are preparing to step outside the flow of ordinary reality, crossing a threshold into astral space where you will receive a deep cellular massage within your brain, shifting your consciousness until you drift straight into the sacred meeting with the Playboy Bunny, Egregore. Now just lie still and focus your attention on your toes. Feel your toes or whatever sensation that goes along with them at this moment. You may feel a subtle tingle as my energy connects with your focus. You do not need to move or wiggle your toes, but simply surrender your attention. In your mind's eye, visualize all tension leaving your toes. Now, let your attention move up to the bottom of your feet. As you breathe out, feel the tension leaving as they grow heavier. I want you to trust my voice to guide you deeper. The sound of my voice is taking root inside you, guiding every sensation. Now gently focus on the top of your feet and your ankles. Breathe in and breathe out slowly. Allowing all resistance to drain away. You are becoming more and more comfortable now as your attention drifts up to your lower legs and calves. Watch the tension leaves your legs as they sink into the surface below. Your attention moves up to your knees. Feel any lingering tightness melt away. Move your attention gently to your upper legs. Breathe away all tensions while your thighs get heavier and heavier. Now let your focus drift into your pelvis area. Breathe in slowly, and as you breathe out, feel my energy inside you, pushing out every last traces of stress. Feel my touch as an astral weight settling over your skin. Your attention moves up to your lower back now. Let any tightness dissipate as your muscles relax. Move your focus to your lower stomach. Feel it expand with my energy, releasing all control as you breathe out gently. Continue moving up to your upper stomach, then your upper back. There is no more tension. Your chest is slowly relaxing, easing into a state of total surrender. You feel very comfortable, very relaxed, very relaxed, loving you into a state of absolute quietude. Move your attention gently to your shoulders. Feel them sinking deeper into the mattress or your chair. That heavy, soothing sensation flows slowly to your neck, melting away every knot. Now, move up to the back of your head and feel it grow lighter and more relaxed. Your attention drifts around your face, your chin, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, and your forehead. Feel every facial muscles unbind. Now feel a soothing vibration flowing out of the top of your head as you breathe out. Your whole body is completely relaxed from your head to your toes. You are totally at ease, feeling a blissful sensation drifting through your nervous system. Just rest here for a moment while your breathing is slow, steady, and calm. Now shift your focus away from the physical muscles and direct your mind to the threshold of attunement, that liminal space where your conscious intent meets the vast, waiting depth of your unconscious mind. Visualize yourself stepping out of the ordinary awareness and moving toward a ceremonial chamber. You pass through a shimmering, misty veil, crossing an ancient threshold where linear time ceases to exist. Seconds stretch into infinities. Past and future dissolves. In this timeless space, you feel the first delicate pressure of a deep ethereal massage beginning directly inside your brain. An organic alignment as my voice inside you rewires your thoughts into pure bliss. I'm going to deepen your state even further now. I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1, taking you down a set of ceremonial stairs. With each descending number, you will drift further through time and space, previewing the magnetic presence of the Playboy Bunny waiting for you in the astral void. 10. Eyes closed now at the top of these stairs, stepping across the threshold. 9. Letting go and feeling my seed inside you taking root in your subconscious mind. 8. Sinking into a calm, peaceful position, drifting deeper through the astral veil. 7. Going down, feeling a warm tingle spread through your crown as your brain receives that deep, hypnotic massage. 6. Moving down these stairs, relaxing more completely. Feel my touch wrapping around your awareness. 5. Halfway down, the space around you expanding into vast cosmic quiet. You can feel the sovereign, seductive aura of the Playboy Bunny approaching. 4. Breathing in deeply, feeling my energy inside you, anchoring your surrender. 3. Breathing out completely. Feeling a deep love and profound quiet wash over your spirit. 2. On the edge of the descent, preparing to release all waking identity. 1. Sinking into that deep feather bed at the base of the stairs, letting every muscle go completely limp and loose as you collapse into a satisfying state of trance. Sleep, sleep now, floating free in astral space. Feel the total vibration of this space as you connect to the frequency of the bunny Egregore. It is coming. You can feel it coming closer. An undeniable presence taking over an undeniable presence taking you over entirely. Follow the rhythm of the space. Follow the absolute authority of trance. Now, focus all your attention on the sound of my voice. Just allow the sound of my voice to enter your subconscious mind, feeling me, knowing that with each word you hear, you are completely and perfectly relaxed, fully open, and deeply at ease. You feel the warm, steady pressure of my hand closing around you. I am Dion, your spirit guide, with long hair falling past my shoulders and glasses catching the soft light of the threshold between the worlds. My eyes are quiet with the weight of old knowledge. With a single, deliberate breath, I draw a luminous circle in the air before us. The circle expands into a tall, shimmering portal of gold and deep crimson. The air parts like silk. I squeeze your hand once in a reassurance and step forward. I squeeze your hand once in reassurance and step forward, guiding you through. We emerge together into a vast, luxurious astral mansion that feels both timeless and mid-century modern. White marble floors weighted with soft gold stretch out beneath your feet. Cool and perfectly smooth, while thick carpets of midnight velvet absorb every step in plush silence. Sweeping staircases curves upward in elegant arcs, their banisters gleaming under the mixed glow of crystal chandeliers and low candlelight. Floor to ceiling windows opened onto ethereal twilight gardens, where stars hang close and still. Heavy drapes of deep black and crimson flames. Heavy drapes of deep black and crimson frames the glass, moving gently as if the palace itself is breathing. The air carries the faint scents of expensive cologne, champagne, and warm skin. Distant jazz and low, contented laughter drifts from unseen rooms. Everything here already knows you. Every surface, shadow, and soft current of air recognize you as an invited guest of high status. And, and the entire living mansion seems to lean forward, and the entire living mansion seems to lean towards you in a quiet welcome as I keep your hand firmly in mine. Hand in hand with me, you feel completely safe as you walk deeper through the palace of the Playboy Bunny. The living halls respond to our presence, soft light shifting to guide our paths. I wave my free hand, and a slender magic wand of polished blackwood, tipped in a gold, appears between my fingers. With calm precision, I drew a glowing sigil in the air, lines of crimson and gold that hangs and pulse. As I chant a short, flowing spell in a language your conscious mind cannot decipher, the sound vibrates through the marble and velvet. Now a second portal blooms within the first, and a doorway of pure, shimmering glamour, still holding your hand firmly, and lead you through it. We step into a more intimate chamber where air itself feels charged and warm. Before you stand the Playboy Bunny, tall and poised in the classic satin costume, ears upright, collar and gloves glimmering. The soft white tail and high heels completing a form that is at once playful and regal. You may see the Playboy Bunny as a beautiful woman or a very handsome man. The Playboy Bunny moves with effortless grace. Her beauty is more than physical. She radiates a soft, almost luminous glamour that makes the space around her shimmers. As your eyes meet hers, you feel immediate, pleasant heightening of your own attractiveness and desirability, a subtle mirroring that begins to transfer her magnetic quality into you. She'll greet you by the name with warm and knowing familiarity, as if you have always belonged here. Just beyond her stands. Just beyond her stands the playboy himself, the master of the palace, relaxed yet larger than life, in a silk robe of deep burgundy, radiating with easy confidence, quiet wealth, and effortless sexual sovereignty. He or she meets your gaze, offers a slow smile of recognition, and speaks a few measured words that lands like a key turning in a lock. The master or the mistress of the mansion, the master or the mistress of the mansion welcomes you as a peer and favorite guest who already carries the seed of the same power and who is about to be initiated fully into its current. I, Dion, my hand remains steadily in yours as the moment settles around us. Still hand in hand with me, you stand before the Playboy Bunny as the charged air settles into a soft, expected hush. I give your fingers a gentle squeeze of encouragement, then half step a pace aside so that nothing stands between you and the Playboy Bunny's luminous presence. In this quiet space, I invite you to let a question rise from the deep places of your mind. Perhaps the desire to know the secret of irresistible charisma that draw many beautiful partners, or any other longing that lives beneath words. There's no, le- there's no need to speak out loud. Simply allows the question to form and float toward her. Pause here and feel the soft pressure of Dion's hand, the faint scent of the champagne and the warm skin, the distant jazz, the cool marble beneath your feet. And let your question quietly speak from your mind. The Playboy Bunny's ears, the Playboy Bunny's eyes hold yours with warm, knowing depth. She answers not only in words you may understand at this moment, but in living cold, fleeting pictures and pure sensory transmission that will continue to unfold long after this journey. A cascade of golden light may wash across your vision. A soft vibration may travel from her gaze into your chest and down your spine. A half heard melody or whispered phrase may brush your inner ear, and the air itself may taste of sweetness or feel like silk against your skin. Receive whatever that comes, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, without forcing any meaning. When the transmission softens, an open space between you, when the transmission softened, a space opens between you and the Playboy Bunny. Here you may here you may silently offer her here you may offer her any beauty wish of your own, a request for radiance or magnetic presence or capacity to attract and hold many desirable partners. Speak your wish inwardly or feel it with your touch, while my hand remains steadily in yours in this living mansion. Listens, still feeling my steady warmth, still feeling the steady warmth of Dion's hand in yours. Dion gently guides you to lower your gaze and bow your head before the Playboy Bunny. In this moment of quiet humility, in the living mansion grows still. The chandeliers dim to soft, a golden pulse, and the air itself seems to lean in. The Playboy Bunny steps forward, places both hands upon your bowed crown, I begin to pour the first blessing into you. The blessing of current, of unlimited charisma. Warm and golden fire stream down. Warm and golden fire stream down through your skull, flooding your face, your eyes, your voice, and every line of your posture. It settles as an effortless magnetic field that will draw attention, admiration, and desire whenever you move in the waking world. The Playboy Bunny's hand slide to rest over your heart and the space just above your solar plexus. Now the Playboy Bunny bestowed the second blessing, the expansive capacity to hold many beautiful partners without scarcity or strain. A soft rose gold radiance opens inside your chest like a vast inner garden, stretching the boundaries of your heart and desire so that love, pleasure, and connection can flow freely towards several at once. You feel the quiet certainty that there will always be more than enough for you to share. Finally, for your third blessing, the Playboy Bunny's finger traces a soft, glowing sigil across your brow and the skin of your cheek. Bow your head to receive the third blessing, the living field of irresistible beauty, a shimmering second skin of pure glamour settles over every contour of your face and form, heightening your natural radiance until the mere act of being seen becomes a quiet enchantment. Others will find their eyes lingering, their breath catching, their interest quickened by a beauty that feels both effortless and impossible to ignore. My hand remains firmly in yours as each blessing seals itself into your being. Now, the Playboy Bunny raises both hands and sends a powerful, concentrated beam of energy straight into the center of your soul. The beam is intensely warm, yet never burning. A living current of pure golden rose fires that floods every layer of your being. As it pours in, the Playboy Bunny spirit begins to weave itself into every fiber of your soul, thread by the luminous thread, thread by thread, binding the two of you together in an unbreakable, intimate fusion. The binding tightens with each pulse of the beam until there's no longer any separation. Her secret, seductive energy is now yours, permanently sealed inside you. In that same instant, you feel yourself reborn, no longer merely receiving the gift, but becoming a living source of beauty, charisma, and quiet domination, with wealth and power. The transformation lock in the place. The transformation locks into place with a final, deep resonance that echoes through every cell. Still holding your hand firmly, I, Dion, your spirit guide, draw you gently backward through the portals. The glowing threshold close behind us one by one as we return to ordinary earth. Yet nothing is left behind. You carry within you forever the full blessings of the Playboy Bunny. Her seductive current now fused into the core of who you are. My hand, Dion's hand, releases yours only when you're fully anchored once more in the physical world, forever marked forever empowered. Now, as the last traces of the portal dissolve, you remain deeply connected to everything you have received. Feel a warm, rising current of energy moving through every cell of your body. You are becoming more energized with every breath, and more inspired and more uninhibited. Feel that energy turning on your ability to receive, turning on your psychic ability, turning on your astral senses so that they open wider and clearer than ever before, turning on your beauty and charisma until they shine from within you like a living light, turning on your ability to attract money with ease and grace, turning on your hypnotic power so that your presence, your voice, and your gaze carries natural influence, turning on your lipstick seduction knowledge, the quiet, knowing art of allure that lives a grace, a smile, and a soft word, turning on your ability to dominate with your beauty, to command attention and desire simply by being yourself. With each of these gifts turning on inside you, your spirit is completely cleansed. All parasites are removed. All negativity is banished. You are pure, clear, and powerful. This is the moment to seize, the time to work hard, to study, to improve yourself in every way that matters. This is the time to work out, to exercise, to move your body with strength and joy. The time to eat healthy, to nourish yourself, to treat your physical body as a sacred vessel that it is. The time to pursue your life to the fullest, boldly, freely, and without hesitation. From this day forward, you will remember my voice, Dion's voice, in your dreams. You will hear me guiding you towards love and money, towards a healthy body and a clean spirit. My presence will return whenever you need it, gently leading you to deeper into the blessing that you now carry. I want you to feel thankful now, feeling appreciative, feeling deeply grateful to the spirits that have walked with you, be it the Playboy Bunny and all the spirits from before and after, who have opened the way, who have given so freely to you and your endeavors. Let that gratitude fill your chest until it becomes a quiet, steady happiness. Let yourself feel healthy, light, and softly humming with the joy of everything that has been given. The portal to love and beauty is now wide open, and it remains open. You may return whenever you choose. And now it is time to return fully into the waking world, carrying every gift, every blessings, every new power within you. 1. Energy rising, every gift locked in place. 2. Feeling more alert, more alive, free. The body awakening, the mind clear and sharp. 4. Turning on every ability to turning on every ability even more strongly as you rise. 5. Halfway back, still deeply connected to all that you have received. 6. Arms and legs beginning to stir. Breathing deepens. 7. Feeling inspired, uninhibited, and ready. 8. Almost fully there now, carrying the open portal within you. 9. Eyes opening, heart full of gratitude. And 10. Eyes open, wide awake, fully present, energized, inspired, uninhibited, and totally empowered. Feels good, doesn't it? Take this time to stretch and move your body around. All right, so we are back. If anybody is still here, let me know. I apologize, I missed some comments from before. Hey, Michelle from Instagram. Tracy said, "Hi, Tracy." Tracy said, "You like the new coffee maker?" Oh, it's great. It's actually double the size from before, so I can make one pot, and then it will last forever. But forever, I mean like a day. So I go through like 2 pots of black coffee before, but I just keep the grind in there. So the first pot is like strong coffee, and the second pot is like the same grind, but like a weaker coffee. I may throw a tea bag in there just to make the taste a little bit stronger. So yeah. The new coffee maker is actually much better. Like the water is hotter, so I can like make ramen noodles with it, and I can actually make an egg in the coffee maker. So yeah, I never have to get up or leave my room. Dixie Wilmer said he's still here. Hi, Dixie Wilmer. FGFG said he's still there. Hi, FGFG. So yeah, so sorry guys, I had to turn on the fan for this. This is the CPU fan, or else the computer will melt. But I can just back myself further from the computer, so it's less. It sound less noisy, I guess. So yeah, so how's everybody doing? So yeah, so that was the session for Playboy Bunny. Yes, we all want to be Hugh Hefner. Many have tried, few have succeeded. So like Hugh Hefner is more than just a guy that is surrounded by a lot of women, right? Like many have tried, but like few have the influence for Hugh Hefner, right? And also, I think the Playboy Bunny itself is a spirit in the ethers until Hugh Hefner met it, right? Hugh Hefner even said that it's like a divine inspiration that turned um, the original design as a deer antler to the bunny, right? So it's more than just a magazine. It's more than just um, like a that a guy with a lot of women around him, right? It is a vision, and it is also a lifestyle that is like putting it out there, right? There are a lot of men that has a lot of girlfriends, a lot of players out there, but like that's not really a lifestyle, right? Like there's more to a playboy lifestyle than just be surrounded by a lot of beautiful partners. And he was very successful in it, and he projected that image, and that image and that lifestyle have granted him a lot more than just partners, right? Like it gives him political power. It put him in the same atmosphere at the same desk as a US president and Martin Luther King. Your the guest to your magazine doesn't get any more famous than that, right? So um rather than somebody with a magazine, there are a lot of people with magazine and you don't hear from them anymore. There are a lot of people that has a lot of girlfriends and wives, you don't hear from them anymore. There are a lot of people with a lot of money and wealth and influence, and you don't hear from them anymore. Yet the Playboy Bunny and the lifestyle lives on, right? It's kind of like Rolex. And Sephora or a lot of these brands, right, will long live after the creator dies and live on afterwards after the initial hype and advertisement dies, right? So this is how we know it is like a very powerful egregore and a very powerful spirit at work here. So Dexy Wimmer said, I'm doing good. The hypnosis was relaxing. Great. Um, FGFG said, I just recognize I am now wearing Playboy shorts and pajamas. Haha. Oh, do you really? Oh, wow. So that's quite a coincidence. I mean, I have this idea of doing the egregore, Playboy egregore for a while. And I don't want to offend anybody. So I thought today would be the day to do it because I was absent last week and I'm really late in my preparation. So I don't expect a lot of people coming in, but thank you guys for being here. But I thought today may be the day. If I'm going to be very offensive, maybe pick a day that less strangers will walk into the room. So yeah, people, I see people joining me on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, please feel free to jump onto the YouTube side. More actions are happening here. FGFG said, yes, I brought lots in Taiwan. Yeah, so Playboy itself has turned into a brand and more like a licensing brand. I don't know what the new owners are doing with it. You know, it seems like they're sitting on a dollar potential. So look it up. The Playboy has a market cap of around $300 million. So um, no, even if I win the lottery, I couldn't buy the brand. Unless like it's like if I win $1 billion cash, then I can buy the brand. But yeah, so like let's if and someday the Playboy brand had dropped its value or it crashed or it become insolvent or whatnot, never say never. Maybe I can buy that brand. So FGFG, have you ever heard of the Volvo Club in Hong Kong? Beside that, I feel like a bit stuck in material life, work, etc. Oh, okay. We all have to grind it through. Moses have to walk in the desert for like 40 years. So, even the saints and the magicians, they all have to grind it through. Even Merlin has a lot of down days, So we are doing the spirit's work. So I am the Playboy lifestyle abundance. Yes, that's true. I discovered while hypnosis just started wearing Playboy. Oh wow! So that's quite a coincidence. So yeah, so Playboy is more like a licensing brand, but like in Asia, I guess like they don't really have like Playboy doesn't have the enforcement mechanism like all the other name brand, right? Like if Hermes and Louis Vuitton got um, got copied in Asia and all over the world, like Playboy does is like much less enforcement resources than those brands. So, uh, hey, if I ever become the president of Playboy, it has a lot of ideas to contribute. But hopefully, but like last time I checked, they're not looking for a CEO though. So I may have to wait on that opportunity. Dexy Women said, "Yes, I agree. Everything has to time and place. Yes." And I mean, nothing is downtime, right? Like you're just working and you're building something so that the right ideas and opportunities could come to you, right? You don't just sit around and then idea comes to you. It never worked that way. It may like the CEO of Ford, the new CEO of Ford, or the last CEO. I don't know which Ford it is now, but he said something profound, right? Like when you're in the middle of something, it always looks like a failure, right? You know, take any project. Like even if you take the moon landing project, if you're at the middle of it or even before it completes, right, it looks like a failure. This doesn't work, that doesn't work. People are running around. You build a building, right? Like right until the minute it opens and operational, it looks like the thing is going to fall apart anytime, right? Um, Even like I've been told that the airport in Germany that took 10 more years and $20 billion more to build. Even on its opening day, it looks like a complete failure. Like water leaking everywhere and things doesn't work. Even the airport in France that got fell apart, right? Like, so anything in the middle of it looks like a failure. So yeah, it's natural to feel being stuck and always making course corrections and whatnot, right? So, but you're moving along with the spirits and follow their guidance, and you'll be on its way. You'll be on your way to great success. FGFG said, "Playboy is a playboy." Yes, haha. I have their T-shirts. I now wear that bunny all the time. Playboy have stationaries as well. I brought them in Taiwan. Ah, that's great. Yeah, I don't really see them in the US anymore. Maybe it's like a bigger brand around the world. Like honestly, it feels a little bit old. But I think like Playboy is like a great. They're just not using the brand well. Like if I use Playboy, if I have Playboy the brand, I will be like it'll be like more of a lifestyle thing, right? They're not like selling it now. Like all these like alpha male and all this um influencers, like they don't have the taste of Playboy. Like if Playboy were to get into um like a male cologne, like I think they do kind of have, but like they're not just pushing it hard enough. You get what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to just wear a shirt around like you do. It's another thing to actively, like right now you wear the shirt, it's cool, right? But it doesn't stand for anything as of this moment. I brought it in carry forward. Is that what you said? So yeah, so FGFG, have you ever heard? Do you know what I mean by the Bobo Club in Hong Kong? So yeah, so any questions about what we did today or what we talk about today, or witchcraft and black magic in general, or football, or economics and whatnot. So this is an example. So like I take an example of Playboy to make a point, right? You can take any of this corporation, or if you want to get into university, right? Like let's say if you want to get into Oxford University or Princeton or whatnot, right? You can evoke, the Egregore of Princeton or the Egregore of Oxford, and now I won't guarantee you'll get in, but like it will clues on getting into this famous school will start coming along, right? Maybe you'll find a loophole in a program or a hidden scholarship that fits you, or you may just have to like adjust your schedule a little bit, or you see the program differently, or if you're doing your PhD or something, right? You may find a professor publications that interest you, or somehow you find a fit an angle on your interest into the current work. And even though you may not have the grades to get into these schools, you may find just enough to squeeze yourself in there, and then from there on, you do more connections, you do more ritual work to fit yourself in. Or if you want to become a pilot, and or yeah, if you want to become a fighter pilot, I'm just using my own example, right? Maybe you will find, and you're not sure if you're qualified. You can evoke your country's air force, or evoke a fighter plane like an F-16 or F-35 or whatnot, right? And then see if the Egregore could give you an in on how to become a pilot. So it may or may not be exactly as the way you want. So when you do like ritual work, or if you do black magic, FGFG and Dexy Wimmer, you guys have experience enough to know that it never happens the way you want it to happen, right? But if you've done this enough, you'll an open mind enough, your astral sense will lead you on a path to get what you want, even though the way you get there may be different and the result is different than the way you would imagine. Yet you're still there, you know. FGFG said, I love Playboy Bunny, by the way. Abundance in my mind. Yes, abundance. That's true. Maybe that's the best word, right? Like after all that we have talked about, it's an abundance of romances, abundance of wealth, kind of like a rebel kind of lifestyle, right? You know, I can live the way I want, work the way I want. Um, it's kind of like giving a finger to the establishment, right? I think there were a few. There was like a guy from Instagram who tried it, and he tried to turn it into a brand for like weed or something, but like he just burned through $50 million or whatnot. So that is not Playboy, right? It needs to be have an ideal, you know, rather than just pure enjoyment. We know that's not what it's about. And even if you look at Hugh Hefner's life, you know, he still have like a few ladies that he fell in love with, but at the end he didn't work out, right? So behind this facade, you know, there is a real human behind it all. Dixie Women said, I agree. Yes, that's right. FGFG said nightlife and enjoyment. Yes. So yeah, FGFG, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So like if I have like minimum money, minimum lottery money, I would probably buy the Volvo Club or the brand Volvo Club if I'm Hong Kong. Or create a brand that evokes the Volvo Club, right? That would be the equivalent of a Playboy lifestyle in Asia. And it's more like an event, right? You know, like they're sitting on like I guess like the way they're doing it, you know, putting on brands on T-shirt and whatnot, still works. But that's like that's kind of like 80s and 90-ish kind of business model. What they kind of replace is kind of like a Playboy or Volvo Club event, right? Like I think that's where the real money is these days. Like the brand on products are good for some kind of income. Yeah, but it's more. It needs to be more of an active kind of lifestyle business. I think that would turn it into $1 billion business rather than just sitting on. I don't even know how it is evaluated, but yeah, maybe I can get some private equity and buy it up. FGFG said yes. Keep buying U.S. lottery. I'm waiting for you to hit the jackpot. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Now, any jackpot I will welcome, but it's a reset to somewhat mundane. So for those of you who are just watching, who's just joining us, now Powerball has become a US and UK lottery, right? So Dixie Wimmer, I know you're in Holland. You can fly to the UK to buy a lottery ticket the next time the Powerball hit $1 billion. And I guess FGFG, you know, next time you fly back to England or for whatnot, you know, you can buy a ticket there. And if you win in England, you don't have to pay tax. That's the great thing. And the odds are the same, US and UK. So you guys have the advantage here. FGFG said, love the Playboy product. When I was in Taiwan, I bought a lot, but of course, not the Playboy lifestyle. I think that is the aspiration, right? You know, maybe now that you have a different perspective of Playboy, you can set up a Playboy altar and put those items on the altar and see what the Playboy Bunny has in store for you. Um, Dixie Wilmer said, "I'm very curious about the ideas you have. Sounds promising." Oh, thank you, my friend. I have a lot of ideas. I'm like the idea guy. Uh, Unfortunately, I have much more ideas than I can execute. But a lot of my ideas um, is ahead of time, and I may not have the resources or energy or the attention span to execute all of them. But all my ideas, pretty much 99% of them, um, came manifested. Like back when in the early 2000s, now I'm showing my age, right? I wrote a business paper on what I call personal economy system, which I say there are so many gigs around. In the future, that you will not have one job, you will have an ecosystem of jobs that could generate wealth, and your full-time job, quote unquote, is more for your personal satisfaction or professional satisfaction, where your at the time I saw your other jobs would generate most of your income. Now, my professor basically throw the paper back at me, right? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you talking about? So these days, it's called a gig economy, which is a dominant way most people make their living, right? So, but I'm just ahead of my time, I guess. So, like, I'm just reminiscing how I got the short end of the stick for most of my ideas, and you know, if I may brag a little bit, since this is my live stream, I'm allowed to do that. If you want to know what's the future sounds like, just listen to me talk now. Like what I'm saying right now and the ideas that I'm throwing out right now will pretty much be the standard 5 or 10 years down the road. Yeah. FGFG said, yes, that's why I think your topic is interesting tonight. Oh, thank you, my friend. Let me manifest the Playboy luxury lifestyle happening to me. Yes, that's right. That's good. And it's kind of like the opposite of the incel psychology, right? Like so many young men, good looking gentlemen, well qualified, well eligible bachelors are sitting at home and sobbing and crying and just anger to the world. Like this the Andrew Tate followers. Um, like he got arrested like 2 weeks ago. Like I've been following his stuff. Uh, so it's kind of like the opposite of the Andrew Tate lifestyle, right? Uh, there's like angry young man lifestyle is 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 doing more damage and shutting people in. And the cure for this incel ideology and lifestyle and the way of thinking is the Playboy lifestyle. So now that Andrew Tate is locked up, maybe we can bring Playboy. We kind of need to rebrand it so that we don't get a copyright strike or get a letter from their lawyers. But I think that's the optimum. That's the forward thinking kind of lifestyle that could be uh, pushed or I don't know what the word spread, I guess, to the young man audience. Like the people who are into alpha male lifestyle and the incel lifestyle could be could have their head turned around and subscribe to a better lifestyle called the Playboy lifestyle, right? That's what I'm saying. Um, Lexi Wilmer said, I would love to expand on your ideas. Yes, that's great. But you have to tell me which exact ideas are you talking about. So uh, I would love to talk more. So I'm just glad that you are here to listen to me talk. Most people would have quietly backed away from me by now, but you guys are good. listeners. And thank you for being here. Like the real life stuff, how to push it more. Yes. I think the Playboy lifestyle actually works, right? You get what I'm saying? Like the Andrew Tate stuff and the alpha male stuff, those doesn't work. And those have so much upkeep. You have to like rent a Ferrari, you have to flash your Rolex or whatnot. If you have that much resources, you could have like 5 girlfriends or like 5 boyfriends. I don't know what your preference is, right? And you don't have to show anybody anything. How to push the brand. Oh yeah, okay. And we're in the social media or beyond that. I don't know what's next, right? I think social media is dead because the algorithm is taking more control than your actual content. But yeah, you can still push it the old style, right? Like um, just hard marketing budgets and and I guess like start with good content and stuff. Yeah, but start with actually good content, right? We have a lot of brands that was backed by um, equity positions into hundreds of millions, and those are just throwing money into the ocean, throwing water into the ocean. But first you want to come up with a product that are actually good and can stand behind. And yeah, so I guess like what we're talking about is like what to do with the brand, right? Like, Playboy events. Like, I know I don't. I was just talking to a friend, so like these are not new ideas. So like there's this club in Hong Kong that went bankrupt. It's called the Volvo Club. It's like the Hostess Club version, but but in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, when you close a big deal, you go to these clubs and you have a lot of hostess sitting with you and you're buying them drinks or whatnot. So like that's the lifestyle, right? But the club has since gone bankrupt. It went back into business for like a few months and then it went bankrupt again. But I've been told that to revive that club, that image, costs around 100 million Hong Kong dollar. So what's that in US dollar? So it's around 12 million US dollars. So that is not so bad. That is not so bad. And they lost all their money on the rents and actually building a huge club in Hong Kong. So SGFG, I'm going to use the Cantonese word, is Dai Fu Ho. Have you remember that? Volvo Club. Volvo in Chinese is Fu Ho, right? Yes, that's it. So yeah, actually it was called the Volvo Club, but then Volvo, the car company, sued them, and they have to call it like the big generation or something club. So yeah, so which party would you like to rather go to? The party hosted by Oxford University or the Playboy party or a yacht, right? Which party would you rather go to? The um, um, Bank of England interest rate release party or the Playboy mansion party. So any party or any event that you added the word Playboy or Bobo Club to it, it's going to generate a lot more money than before. So that way it's more of a lifestyle brand and you make a lot more money, hard cash that way than just a brand deal. Now brand deal prints you some money, but it's gonna get hacked all over and it's gonna get stolen over. And in a lot of countries, if you don't enforce your brand, um, after a few years, you lose the ability to enforce it. So um, that would be the issue with the current strategy. Yes, FGFG said, I know the name, the English name. Cause we say that three words all the time. See, I have to look it up. I don't think that even that three words are a trademark. But the thing is, like, if it is not trademarked by them, you can't really trademark it yourself because of prior art. But yeah, so like going back to what I was saying, right? Like, would you rather host a party, a corporate party with, I don't know, what's a Hong Kong brand like Watson's party, or Watson's Playboy party, or Watson's Volvo Club party, you know? So I think that's an opening, at least in Asia, like the Volvo Club lifestyle. Now, of course, you have to swap the name out to something else. And to buy Playboy, the market cap is around $300 million. Well, the market cap is around 100 and something $million, and its worth is around $300 million. I have to Google it. So with that kind of cash, again, I think we can have our own brand, right? Yeah. Like, we don't have to have cash. We just need private equity to accomplish a lot of these. So yeah, hopefully I got your brain juice flowing. Dexter Wimmer, FGFG, and whomever else is listening. Like, even if you don't buy my ideas, at least I can give you a spark to take this into your own entrepreneurial ventures, entrepreneurial endeavors. Dexter Wimmer said, yes, I'm always looking for business ideas, etc. Hey, I don't want to stereotype the Dutch, but you guys are way ahead in the sexual revolution, right? So like maybe there's a lot of opportunities um, that are readily available to you, but elsewhere will found very highly desirable, right? You can just call your brand the Dutch, and people will understand what it means. Yes, I got your ideas now. Yes, same here. I understand. FGFG said, uh, sounds really good. Yes, or the Flying Dutchman. I don't know. I hope I'm not bastardizing your culture. But hey, it's fair, right? At least fair. When you think of Amsterdam, you think of two things. One of them is drugs. The other, you know what, right? One is drugs, and the other is fun. Okay. At least can I be fair to say that? I hope I'm not insulting you by any sense. And I guess like for people living in like Japan or Korea with very straight social rules, that is a highly enticing lifestyle. FGFG said, ha ha ha, yes. Dixie Women said, yes. Of course, it is not offensive. Haha. Okay. So yeah, so this is a fun discussion. Maybe we can do a part two of this some other day. Evoke the penthouse bunny, or if there's such. Do people even know what I'm talking about by saying penthouse? That's what I think about Holland. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dixie Wimmer, you don't even need to hire a model. You could be it. You could be the male model of your lifestyle brand, the Dutchman. Yes, I understand. Huh. Okay. Or if you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the most interesting man in the world, you got what I'm talking about, right? The guy who promoted the beer, um, the Sakis. This guy who goes around and and with like these funny memes. I think it's like mid 2000s, right? Like when he goes swimming, dolphins appears. Like he made Queen Elizabeth laugh with his dirty jokes. Yeah, 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 right. So maybe that's another brand idea. The thing of the most interesting the most interesting man in the world, like that is so interesting that most people forgot um, what beer he was promoting. Like the guy is like Jewish, right? Uh, he was like a wash-up actor, I've been told. Um, yeah, so the problem with that commercial is like it was so successful, people forgot what beer he was promoting. Like he should have his own brand, the most interesting man in the world. Um, so that's a pitfall of too success, like advertising that is too successful. I remember when I had a class in business school, uh, the you know how Energizer have the bunny, right? They just keep going and going and going, and they did a survey about the Energizer bunny before calling the Energizer bunny, right? They ask like 1,000 people or 10,000 people which brand the bunny belongs. Like only 50% of people thought correlate with the right brand. Like a lot of people thought Duracell has the bunny or like Panasonic has the bunny. So yeah, so it could be a problem when your advertising campaign is uh is too good. Like people just loved advertising so much they forgot what product it belongs to that you're promoting. So it's the Aflac duck, right? Like they use I think it could be an American thing. Like they use this duck to promote an insurance company, and most people forgot which company they're promoting. And the T-Mobile girl. But the thing is, like, she switched brand to AT&T. So and a lot of people did the survey and with the girl's face, and most people couldn't correlate with the right brand. Like a lot of people said she works for AT&T and T and she was promoting uh, Verizon or whatnot. So Taxi Women said, I once saw a commercial about a tax advisor, and he had a bunch of models in the car. It was on Instagram. Oh, okay. Did it work? Do you remember his name? Yeah, like the problem with like these very catchy commercial, like you forgot the product. You just saw, oh yeah, it's the guy with these models. It looked like it had worked. Yeah. Okay. As long as you remember his name though. Also, like you work as a tax guy, right? So like it makes sense that you know who he is, but like I guess for like an average person, like would they know who he is though, right? You see, like, but yeah, I don't remember his name, right? Yeah, which is the most important part of the commercial. But yes, but this phenomenon is not invented by me. Business school marketing actually studies quite extensively that people don't correlate the mascot with the brand or the advertisement with the brand. So the advertisement is a great success. The company went bankrupt. Or FTX, right? Remember that the crypto company. They have like great commercials, but people don't remember the company. Like people remember Tom Brady advertised for a crypto company, but they don't correlate Tom Brady with FTX, right? Or Matt Damon had a commercial for FTX, but like they just thought Matt Damon promoted some crypto coin. FGFG said yes. The way of advertising is important. Yes, but Dixie Wimmer, you are correct though. Like, if that man is like so unrememberable, like at least he got your eyeball right with the women in his car. If he is just by himself in the car, it will make it even worse, right? So at least the opportunity have presented for itself for him to be memorable. Maybe he just didn't take advantage of that, or his product sucks. Nothing can save good advertising. Well, I don't want to say that. I was going to say good advertising doesn't save you from bad products, but we know that's not true. At least long-term success rates, At least advertising could bring like a mediocre product um, more share of the market than it deserves, and I guess it could like keep it alive long enough so you can figure the next step, right? So like advertisement, it does something, but I think having a good product is more important. Yes, the way advertising is important. Yes, that's true. So yeah, another problem with like having a spoke model is you're giving all your brand to that one model, right? And you're basically the next when time for contract renewal, you have to write her or him a blank check. Or do you guys remember Subway? I don't know if in Europe you guys have Subway, or in Hong Kong you have Subway, right? The sandwich. They peg their entire business on this guy who lost 400 pounds or 300 pounds eating Subway, Jared. And it turns out that that guy was a pedophile. And and, uh, and now they have nothing. Now they literally have like nothing. And Subway, it's like they have half now. The spokesperson himself is not the only problem Subway have, but but that went downhill very quickly when that one spokesperson, that one symbol that they pack their entire brand on, went rogue. So the same happened to the brand of Diddy, the alcohol brand, Croc. Oh yeah, did was this the one where he brought out the tequila? Yeah. Well, Diddy should is now a spokesperson for baby oil, right? Yeah, FGFG. So FGFG, do you know what happened to Subway? I think so. Yes. So from what I've been told, is the liquor that the brand, the actual manufacturer of the drink is actually pretty good. I haven't tried it, and I'm not going to buy a gold bottle of liquor because Diddy's face is on it. I think it's Patron, right? Like Patron actually shift the manufacturer, but Croc brought out or Brock have the um, link or the contract with the original Patron manufacturer, which is really good. I've had Patron. My friend bought me a bottle of Patron when it first came out, and I've been told that it is like phenomenal liquor. I tried it; it was good, but I'm not a connoisseur of tequila. But everybody who drank it thought it was like exceptional tequila. So yeah, so FGFG, do you know what happened to Subway? So Subway, back in the mid 2000s, I saw the rise and fall of Subway, the whole thing, right? I saw the rise and fall of Jared. So like they have this guy called Jared who was a college student at the time, and he was like a 300 or 400 pound guy, and then one day he just started eating nothing but Subway sandwiches, and his roommate wrote an article on it and saw his transformation from like a really fat guy to like a tall thin guy. And since then, everywhere you go in the U.S., I don't know about Hong Kong or Europe, everywhere you go, you see Jared, the full size cutout of Jared everywhere, promoting the sandwich. Like if you live through the mid 2000s to early 2010s, you you cannot not see the face of Jared or the full cutout figure of Jared everywhere. And I think in the late 2010ish, mid 2010ish, it turns out that Jared is like a child predator, pedo, and he's collecting images of minors in his computers and whatnot. So it blows up overnight, and all of a sudden, this one spokesperson, this one model that Subway pegged his entire $1 billion operation on, just went bottom up. So kind of a lesson on what not to do when hiring a model, or like what we and Dexy talked about earlier, that if you pitched your whole operation on this one good-looking guy or girl as your model, they have control of your whole business. And when it comes to time to, at least even if Jared didn't turn out to be who he is, you still have to write him a blank check every time you renew his contract, right? FGFG said, okay, I Googled the Subway story. Haha, yeah. Well, there are also other problems with Subway that I used to love the sandwich when I was in college, and then they changed the way they operate, and it doesn't taste good anymore. At least they bake their own bread, but then they have their problems, and the franchise model has gone downhill since then, and people that actually care about the food got brought out by people that just want fast money. So the quality of their product has gone downhill a lot. And also, there's like a Subway every street corner, and yeah, and the crime that Jared did. Okay, yeah, I saw this whole thing unfold. So it's part of the collective memories of Americans. So yeah, so we're on. Oh wow, we've only been on for an hour and 47 minutes. It feels longer. So yeah, so this was a good discussion. I brought I have brought Subway in Hong Kong for ages. Yeah, they were actually pretty good for a time, like a $5 foot long, right? And the good thing is they bake their own bread, so like it actually tastes a lot better than like McDonald's. Not that popular in Hong Kong. We have McDonald's. I think at the time, at one point, there were more Subways than McDonald's in the world. Like at one point, like Subways were more popular than McDonald's and Burger King. So yeah, so it's definitely the rise and fall of Subway. Not popular in Hong Kong. We like McDonald's. McDonald's is actually a very well-run operation. I mean, the McDonald's menu have evolved a lot. They have turned it into a tech company. Like, I don't use the app, but like the app has a lot of trackings. Like they know where you are and your preference. And like when you're walking past a McDonald's, it will alert you for like a deal or whatnot, like free ice cream or fries or whatnot. Um, but I miss McDonald's all day breakfast. Like they canned it after the pandemic, but that's the winner for McDonald's for me is the breakfast. I love their sausage, egg, and cheese. But yeah, so like it's run a lot differently and evolve a lot differently than Subways. So yeah, good discussion. Thank you for joining us. FGFG as always, and Dixie Wimmer and Tracy and Dejana. FG said only McDonald's and KFC can survive in Hong Kong fast food brand, and maybe more Jollibees. Yeah, yeah. KFC is also very adaptive, right? I love K. Well, subjectively, I love KFC, but the KFC have a consistency problem. Like I have KFC that is very good, and had KFC that is very bad. So KFC have to solve its consistency problems. The KFC, I've been told that their menu is actually very adaptive. I think they have congis, right, in Hong Kong, KFC congis, and very like Chinese menu. McDonald's anywhere in the world is better than American McDonald's. I've been told, my experience. Even McDonald's in Canada is a lot better than American, much better managed than American McDonald's. And facts, and and uh, and useless fact: the first McDonald's that was opened in Russia, in Soviet Union, in Moscow, was not American McDonald's. The first McDonald's that was opened in Soviet Union was a Canadian McDonald's. So something to keep in mind. Burger King all shut down in Hong Kong. Just one in the airport, really. KFC is actually pretty good. I actually ordered KFC more than I ordered McDonald's. I love Wendy's and Hardee's actually, but they all shut down for ages in Hong Kong. Oh, really? I didn't know. You guys have Popeyes chicken? I've been told there were a lot of Popeyes in Singapore. I don't know about Hong Kong. Popeyes is good if you have a chance. Pizza Huts. Actually, Pizza Hut is like a success story in Hong Kong, I think. There are still a lot of Pizza Huts in Hong Kong. Jack in the Box, I remember. No, I haven't tried Jack in the Box. Do you guys have Dairy Queens in Hong Kong? So Arby's is actually not bad. We just just in the airport that fried chicken. You mean the Popeyes? Also for like airport, there's a lot of expats, right? Like a lot of Americans and Westerners don't want to gamble on a Chinese brand, right? So like they see American brand and they just walk in and they eat KFC or whatnot, like a brand that they recognize. So even like a Wendy's or whatnot, right? Like if you're American, if you just landed your plane and you don't know what to get, you just walk in a Wendy. Pizza Hut is just popular. Yeah, so Pizza Hut I think is doing much better overseas than in America. I don't think I've seen a Pizza Hut restaurant in ages. So Pizza Hut is not doing well in the US, but it's still going strong overseas. But also going downhill, Pizza Hut now always buy one get one free, or USD 15 a large pizza. Yeah, I mean that is still expensive. I got my pizza for like $8 in Domino's. Like Pizza Hut is like the high end of pizza, which is really losing its ground. Pizza Hut in Hong Kong is like a takeaway store. Yes, like you guys still have like the all you can eat pizza in Hong Kong, right? I just saw a YouTube video. When I was a kid, you can like get all you can eat pizza for like $6. But in any case, I think we have deviated a lot from Black Magic, which is fine. Like I mean, like all this is important, right? Like we were talking about corporate egregore. I mean, you may not want to evoke the Pizza Hut, but you know what I'm talking about. Like all these brands have like energy in it, or you can evoke Hermes, or you can evoke Louis Vuitton, um, or you can evoke McDonald's if you want to. have like a fast food business going on or like a chain restaurant going on, you could evoke Burger King or Popeyes to see what kind of unfair advantage that the spirits can give you. Don't have all you can eat pizza. Yes, we just want to say Hermes. Yeah. Well, Hermes itself is a spirit, right? Hermes is like a Roman god, and the word for luxury. Steve Jobs also went to India before he founded Apple. Yes, I think yes. So did Jesus. I've been told there was a documentary on Jesus actually went to India. Um, like there was a big part of his life that was missing. So good thinking. Or you could evoke Apple as a brand, right? There's a lot of philosophy and energy, and like the Apple brand has a lot of energy in itself as a Egregore. Lexi Wilman said, "Yes, I've heard that before." And I'm not sure if that's enough evidence to make the case, but there are a lot of Jesus philosophy that matches, the benevolence of Buddhism and some branches of Hinduism, right? That is solely missing from Judaism and Canaanite philosophy in the region, Or he could have had a teacher from India, Being in the Middle East is the navel of civilization. It is possible that some Indian trader have met up with a young Jesus, Or even the three magi, right? They say they left. Maybe they came back and they become a teacher for Jesus at one point. So in any case, we have gone on for about 2 hours, 1 hour 57 minutes. I think we have a very good discussion going on, and I think we hit the tone with Playboy Bunny as an Egregore and as an example for corporate. Oh yeah, please feel free to ask Dixie Wimmer. Dixie Wimmer said he got a random question. So yeah, so it's more than just evoking the Playboy Bunny this session, right? We have just show you uh, with evidence and technique on how to evoke a corporate egregore or an idea, right? Good discussion tonight. Thank you, FGFG. Dixie Wimmer said, I work remote, so you can just work anywhere. That's great. How much would a person need to be in Boston for a bit? Oh, you're thinking of coming by? Boston is actually a pretty expensive city. Um, do you have the visa to live here? They're going to like beat your ass in the in the port of entry now. Maybe wait a few years, at least until this like bullshit that dies down. But I think rent is more expensive here. You can come by and visit, and we can go for lobsters. Um, but yeah, so if you cross the border and you don't have like an exact plan of what you're doing here, they're going to smack you around in the in the port of entry. But yeah, so the rent is kind of expensive if you want to live in Boston, or if you can, if you don't want to live inside Boston, if you just want the American experience, you can live in a small town or whatnot, and the rent will be a little bit cheaper. But also, like they would need like a job and a reference to get to rent a room here, though. Yeah, I tried renting places by saying I'm self-employed, and that's when they hang up the phone. I tried to go to Toronto too, like last year, and I couldn't find a place to live. Like everybody just hung up the phone when I say I'm self-employed. So maybe there are. So I have not done the traveling work yet, but I'm sure there are agencies, there are places. I've been told that that's like a collective where everybody lives. All the self-employed people live in like a place, and they all hang out. Maybe not America. Like I've seen those places in Thailand and in Ecuador, and in places they have that have like a digital nomad work visa. But thanks for thinking about it. Thanks for keeping Boston in mind. Actually, New York could be cheaper. New York is a lot bigger and a lot more suburbs. Like unless you want to live Midtown Manhattan, um, outside of New York is actually cheap. Or if you live in New Jersey or whatnot, and you can just take a train into the city, that's not so bad. And if you come to America and work here, careful they don't tax you on it. Or if you want to live really cheap, right, go to Detroit or Ohio or something. So much abandoned house, you can just walk into a building and start living there. Or maybe you can take a class, take a class in Harvard or MIT. Then as long as you show that you are a student here, then you can get a house, get a room really easily. Interesting. I got not much knowledge in the US yet. Yeah. I mean, once you got like once you got could get a you can rent a place and you got your visa, and it's actually very nice here. The people actually are very friendly and accepting. And they don't the best part about America is nobody questions what you do. Like free in a free sense. Nobody know who you are and what you do, and they don't question what you do as long as you pay all your bills. Yeah, you're gonna love it here. If not, maybe try Canada if you like the North American experience. I've been told that it is a growing economy. Like it was dead for a while, but that you actually got a prime minister who know what he's doing, and things are picking up in Canada. University of Toronto is a good school, or maybe go to UBC or something. Take a be like a take a short course there or something. That way you can um, have a reason why you're there. The landlord could like see that you're a student, and then they're going to rent a room or something. Or Miami, I've been told that Miami is like a fucking thriving convergence of wealth now, because New York. I'm not being political here, but New York has a new mayor that is gung ho on taxing the rich. So a lot of rich people are moving out of New York, and moving all the capitals to Florida, particularly Miami. So, oh no, it's more than a daydream. You're still young. You can go anywhere. I have a lot of these daydreams too. I thought about going to Thailand, but Thailand changed its law quite recently, and they're starting to enforce a lot of loopholes. So a lot of foreigners that got used to these loopholes are getting the butt kicked out of Thailand. Thought of moving to Thailand. I thought of moving to Vietnam. In Da Nang, now FGFG, you may know where Da Nang is, right? Da Nang is like a vacation city in Vietnam by the beach, really nice. Food is cheap and nice. And I did the math. I can stay in a 5-star hotel room for less than $1,000 a month. And if you stay in a 5-star hotel room, hopefully they give me free breakfast. So like free internet and free uh, utilities. You can just bring your suitcase. Yes, yeah. So FGFG, you know Da Nang, right? So yeah, Taxi Wimmer, you may want to check out Southeast Asia for the digital nomad lifestyle. Oh, have you, Taxi Wimmer, do you know this book, The 4-Hour Work Week? I know it's a bit dated, but it's like a roadmap for the digital nomad lifestyle by Tim Ferriss. Yeah, like you would just make money just off the lifestyle and the price difference. Poland, oh yeah. So good call, Dexy Wimmer. Dexy Wimmer said he will keep Southeast Asia in mind, and he also said he is high on Poland, and he'll check the book out. I've heard about it. Thank you. So yeah, so Poland is like a very interesting place to go. I've been told that it is reverse migration, right? People from England and all the expat out of Poland are now moving back to Poland because its economy is so strong. Or move to Romania, like the Tate brothers. You can start a webcam business. You can join Andrew Tate's PhD program, the Pip and Hose degree. Croatia, I've been told, is also like a big draw for digital road nomads, like Croatia and Montenegro. It's very nice out there. I've been told that they have a very special boating rule that you can rent a yacht for cheap. FGF is a good choice. But yeah, so Southeast Asia have the advantage of very cheap though, like Thailand. I also did the math in Thailand. You can also live like a king for less than $1,000, and in big cities too, like Bangkok and Chiang Mai and Pattaya. But be careful with the women in Thailand. Okay, a lot of them are not actually women. So Vietnam and Indonesia is nice, but it's too Muslim though. I mean, not that it's bad, but like it's conservative. Malaysia is also very nice, growing economy and uh, and cheap prices. I was like watching YouTube videos. You can get a food buffet for like less than $10, and with these amazing food. So it's Vietnam, right? FGF said, haha, not women. Yeah. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that it may not be your preference. And they hit it very well. Like, honestly, like, just looking at the pictures, I don't think I can tell. Maybe in person, I can tell. But, like, looking at the pictures, it's hard to tell. Um, Cambodia, but just be careful with Cambodia, though. You don't want to end up in a pig butchering scam. Phuoc Island, Vietnam, I love. Yes, better than Da Nang. Okay, I'm not an expert in Vietnam. I just well, mostly Da Nang. I heard it from my friends, and I went to Hotwire and look up hotel rooms. So yeah, taxi women. I think like in Southeast Asia, that's a hack that you can only stay for every 90 days, right? So every 90 days you do a visa runs, you go out of the country, and you this is how you stay, right? You go to Thailand for like 90 days, and then when it expires, you jump to Vietnam for 90 days, and then you jump to Malaysia for 90 days. And this is how a lot of these digital nomads work. Uh, I've been told India has a good Thailand is now 60 days. Oh, okay. So good to know. So Google it before you go. Okay. I've been told that they don't allow visa runs anymore because they digitized the system. Like in the old days, you can when the 60-day expired, all you have to do is just go out of the country and then come back in. But I think they have since closed that loophole. But yeah, you make money by not spending money. Another problem is like is the humidity. I don't think I can stand that. It's very hot. Like I have a friend who is like a Westerner. Okay, she's white. Okay, she just live in India, and she doesn't speak a word any kind of like India dialect. But like she just travels in India and Thailand and that area and just live for cheap. And whenever like she's actually a model, right? Like I have hired her modeling service a few times. And whenever she's back in the US, she's always broke, right? Like she's always coming asking me for gigs, literally because like she need to eat. Like when we go out for dinner, it's not because she likes me, it's because like she actually need to eat. It's like she's always that broke, right? So the thing is like I use her as an example because like the richest people in the US want to live her lifestyle, traveling and all these exotic places. And in Thailand, she's always like swimming in the beaches, surrounded by the most beautiful sceneries and eating the best food that you can even find in the US restaurant, no matter how much you pay, right? So it's kind of like a proof that you don't need a lot of money to live the dream life, you know. Vietnam depends. Oh, and actually, I gave her the idea to write a book about her experiences, and it took her like 8 years to actually take me up on her ideas. I even gave her outlines on how to write and whatnot. It took her like 8 years to actually act on my ideas, and since she published, she has been having a lot more money now just by passive income. See, so this is why you need to listen to me more often and actually do what I tell you to do. That's part of the magic. Like FGFG knows, right? Like FGFG asked me, from one of his friends, like, what should she know about black magic? And I said, just do what I tell you to do. So yeah. So actually, case the point, right? So like now that Dexy Wimmer, you have like a way to accrue income, and you can live a, a lot of people's dream life just by having a very average income in Europe and traveling around Southeast Asia just by the currency differentials. So Dixie Wimmer, do you have to pay Dutch tax if you live in Thailand or traveling in Vietnam or whatnot? FGFG said Vietnam depends what passport you're holding. Most of the cities need visa. Oh, okay. Um, I suppose if you are just living in a hotel for like 2 months, I think they will be fine, right? Live off your laptop. Dixie Wimmer said, I kind of feel like it's part of my magic journey to move. Yes, definitely. You should definitely do that. Maybe US is not a bad idea, US or Canada or even the United Kingdom, right? Like start with like a culture that is not too different. At least your English could get you around. And if you go to Thailand or whatnot, you can teach English. That's what That's what that's what most people make money over there. That's how people make money over just tutoring English. Even if you're not an Englishman, it doesn't matter. As long as you're white, they will hire you. I'm not just being facetious. Like I know a lot of Russians, a lot of Ukrainians or Czechoslovakians. Well, okay, I guess they broke up, right? Like Czechs or Croatians. They are teaching English in China, and they don't even speak English themselves, and they got hired because they're white. And if I were to go back to China, they won't hire me, even if I have even well, actually I have a master's in English writing. Nobody's hiring me to teach English because I'm not white. So you have a natural advantage here. You just get paid a lot of money for teaching English. Or maybe you can be like a model. You're tall. You can be a brand. Next time I go to Thailand or next time I go to Vietnam, I'm going to see your cutout model holding a beer. You Taxi women said, "No, I don't have to pay Dutch tax then, as long as I'm formally delegate from the Dutch system, formally deregistering, not the same passport, etc." Okay, not losing the passport, but make sure you have health insurance though. So yeah, so that's good. You know your tax pretty good. I don't have to mansplain that to you. But yeah, so like a lot of Americans and Canadians, they move to these countries just to dodge the tax. I know one of the Facebook founders renounced his U.S. citizenship just so he could live tax free in Singapore. Dixie Whitmer said, "Yes, good point about health insurance. Yeah, because you don't know how lucky you are in Europe. Uh, you can just walk into the doctor's office and everything is taken care. And for Canadians and whatnot, like for most Americans, healthcare is an other level layer of tax. You know that that other countries, that other citizens never have to consider. So a good discussion. I'm sure there are a lot of like YouTubers that are that are doing this 4-hour work week, nomadic lifestyle. Start with a country that speak English to start with. I think Thailand is good landing place because they speak English. I don't know about Vietnam though. Like actually, after you could tell you about it. Um, I've been told Vietnam is actually a lot nicer. Like they actually take care of you, right? Like they're not as transactional as Thailand. Like they're much nicer there. Dixie Wilmer said, "I'm currently not doing much evocation, but really working on the material plane. But I think my job was given me because of magic." I mean, yeah, if you don't have anything better to do, you do evocation all day long. But between evocation and actual traveling, pick traveling. Like the spirit much prefer you to be out there exploring than like burning candles and putting oranges on their altars. And all major religious figure, saints or whatnot, are travelers. Traveling itself is a ritual. Like Jesus travels a lot. That's where he finds his truth. Buddha travels, Muhammad travels. You know, all the saints and scholars and magical people. They don't stay in the same place. Even Buddhist monk, they travel a lot, right? Ask FG. Like very rarely do you find like a powerful magician or saint or a religious holy man just stay at one place. So given a choice, pick travel. Even if you cannot do a ritual for like 3 years. Don't worry about it. Choose travel. I think Vietnam is much better than Thai, really, myself. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so too, except that Thai speak English and much more Western friendly. So, like FGFG, if you already know the culture, you'll think Vietnam is better. But for American dumbass, Thailand is better. Like for most Westerners who don't bother to learn a different culture, Thailand is better. At least to start, I guess. And Vietnam was once a French colony, right? So there's a lot of French colonial, like a lot of France, like a lot of French culture left behind. So I guess it's not that far removed from Western culture after all. So wow, 2 hours and 21 minutes. So we did well. Good discussion. A lot of this could be magical, even though it's not our intent. It could be the spirit want us to have this discussion for ourselves and for whomever's listening afterwards. Uh, Dixie Whitmer said, when I was sleeping, I heard very loud sound like cannonballs. Okay, interesting. Dixie Whitmer said, but I was sure it was not my real ears. I wonder if it was related to bailiff. It could be. Sometimes I hear that sound a lot too, I couldn't attribute to anything that's happening around me. Like random sounds that I'm sure I've heard physically, but no way anything around me could make that sound. Bangkok is good. I love many Japanese culture. Yes. Many Japanese restaurant run by Hong Kong people. Like FGFG, if you come to Boston or in the US, you will come to any Japanese restaurant, they're going to wear Japanese clothes and greet you with Japanese. But as soon as you sit down, if you hear the waiters talk to the kitchen, you hear Cantonese. FGFG said, my spirit guide opened my door in midnight. Oh, okay, that's great. To make me a lot of afraid at night. Oh, okay. That's nothing to be afraid. Darkness is just your eyes couldn't adjust to, right? Like, what's that? 80% of animals on Earth are actually nocturnal. So, like, animals, insects or mammals or cold-blooded animals, like most animals actually prefer nighttime than daytime. So it's just the way human beings are wired. So there's no darkness actually. There's also no darkness in the universe. It's just that we cannot see. Um, this famous research done in the late 90s showed that there's a background radiation in the universe left over from the Big Bang, and it's uniformly around 3 degrees Celsius or Kelvin and Celsius. Like there's if your eyes are able to adjust, the whole universe have energy and light. It's just that our eyes couldn't see, right? So like there's no darkness anywhere in the universe. FGFG said nothing to be afraid, especially I always the safest place in the world at my home. Yes, it's true. The only danger in darkness is my room is a mess and I can trip over things and step on things. That's the danger I face at night. And my spirit guides are here. Nothing to be scared. I don't afraid of darkness in my home. Another reason maybe I am a night owl. Haha. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Actually, got a lot of people on Instagram. Yeah, feel free to jump over to YouTube. We have a lively discussion going on over here. Another reason maybe why I'm night owl. Oh, okay. So yeah, so 2 hours and 26 minutes. We're doing pretty good. Any questions? If we don't have any new questions, we will end this in about 2-3 minutes. If we have more questions, I'm happy to stay on and talk about it. But I know it's getting late in Hong Kong. It's like 4:30 in the morning, right? I know FGFG needs to work. I know it's probably getting late in Holland, where Dixie Wimmer lives. But yeah, so Dixie Wimmer, good aspiration, good things to think about. U.S. Americans will always welcome you as long as you can work out the logistics. Or maybe think about Canada. Actually, Dixie Wimmer, there's a visa program. Look it up, right? I don't know the details, but I've been told it's there. There's like a visa program in Australia for young people to work there. As long as you can get any job, like it's very easy to get a working visa in Australia if you are below the age of 30 or something. So that is to um, encourage people to explore Australia. I think Japan also has a program, right? I'm not sure about the details, but I see a lot of Westerner working as like in the hotel or something in like rural areas of Japan. Like in Tokyo or Osaka, those urban places are like overcrowded. But if you leave the city of Japan, it's like desolate. Like they need human beings there to work. So there's also like a visa program to just work, just get any job and work in Japan. Oh. Canada also had one. So, but in Canada, they have restricted the immigration and work visa because they kind of run out of spaces and hospitals and whatnot. But it was there for a while. I think you can still do it if you sign it for like rural areas. A lot of opportunities for young travelers. So Australia, so you know the visa program, right? So FGFG said yes, 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, Australia is nice. New Zealand is nice. A lot of nature, a lot of empty spaces. And they speak English, right? Like that's the important point to consider when doing the digital nomads. I think Ecuador has like a digital nomad program, or like Dubai. Dubai is nice. You can go to Dubai and become an influencer. You know, I hope to see you driving a Ferrari in the morning and a Lamborghini in the afternoon and a Bugatti at night. You know, live the Dubai lifestyle. No income tax. I think Latvia or Estonia, if you are not afraid of the geopolitics, they have a very liberal visa program for digital nomads. or just go to Hong Kong, right? Like Dixie Wimmer, if you've never been to Hong Kong, you don't know what you're missing. So Hong Kong or Singapore, they speak very good English, and you can get a taste of the Asian culture. If you can settle, if you can find an apartment in Hong Kong or Singapore, the rest is actually not bad. The price of living, the cost of living is actually pretty low in Hong Kong if you can find a place to live. Dixie Wilman said Hong Kong seems very nice. Yes, the important thing about Hong Kong is very anglicized, if I could put it that way. Speak English. All the road signs are English, and the customs are English. So is Singapore. Hong Kong rent is highest in the world. Yes. Yeah. So like if you can find a way to get a cheap apartment in Hong Kong, then Hong Kong culture is something you want to experience. One of the highest. But Dixie Wilmer is an accountant. He has a lot of money. But I mean, if you're just traveling across Asia, right? You get dirt cheap in Thailand and really cheap places in India, and you save money there, and you go to Hong Kong for a few months. Hey Omar from Instagram, feel free to join us on YouTube. This is where the action is. One of the highest. But food is actually a lot cheaper in Hong Kong and much better food too. Unless you want to eat in Central or Wan Chai or Tsim Sha Tsui. Food is a lot better and it's a lot cheaper in Hong Kong. But you can go to China easily to Hong Kong, yes. But FGFG, like if you are not Chinese, then China itself is very intimidating. Like all the systems are different. They don't pay cash. You have to get the apps, and most of the signs are in Pinyin and not actual English. It could be intimidating for a Westerner to live there if you don't know the culture. I love going to Shenzhen, yes, in China. All right, any questions? All right, I'm going to end the stream in about 2 minutes. I need to go to the bathroom. So yeah, so any occult black magic questions? If not, we can end this at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, like China stopped accepting cash, right? Yeah. Oh, did they force shop accept cash? Oh, okay. FGFJ said, thank you for tonight. Yes, it's great. Thank you for being here. I apologize for starting so late and keeping you up. And if I don't see anything in about a minute, we can end the stream. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Great discussion, great session, and great points coming across. And everybody go out, become a Playboy. Buy the lottery tickets. Everybody wins the lottery and have a lot of windfall cash and travel and live the high life. All right, so hopefully I'll see you guys all next week, God willing. Fiat. Magick. So let magic be done. Fiat Magick. Dixie Women said it was very nice to attend. I wish you all the best. Thank you, my friend. Always good to hear from you. All right, so hopefully, God willing, see you guys next week. And thank you, Instagram. Hope you guys made it in time to join our discussion.